Hi, everyone. Welcome to the BC Girls Podcast. We are your hosts, Matoba,
Hanfil, and
Akane.
Hi, everyone. So, for today's topic, we'll be talking about jealousy. We'll be asking questions like, what is jealousy? When does one feel jealous towards other, and why do people feel jealous? What causes jealousy? And then we'll be going into a little bit of how our experiences with jealousy have been and how it's affected us. So I'm going to dive right into it. What do you guys think? What is jealousy? Or what does it mean to be jealous?
It's definitely envy of someone. Like something that you don't have, you also want what they want.
Yeah, jealousy is, I thought about this, and jealousy is really just wishing you were in someone else's shoes without really understanding what it took to get to that place. I mean, they could have done nothing at all, or they could have done everything in the world, but that doesn't matter, to the person that's jealous. What matters is that that person is somewhere or have reached something or reached a level that someone else wishes they were at, and so you envy them.
Yeah, it could be the simplest thing to be jealous to. Like, I want money, I want a toy if you're a kid, or a phone because everybody else has it. I feel like a lot of movies. I feel like a lot of movies, they really like visualize the jealousy, like the people around them kind of like, oh, they're probably jealous. look at the way that person's character is looking at the item or the person.
it's like an emotion that you feel that it comes and it goes. Like you can get jealous of like your best friends or like as you said, people or like items of things like either you wish you had and you didn't have, or just things you want to have and like you see it in other people kind of thing too.
Right. And I also think there's a range too with jealousy. Like there's, people who are super jealous, and then others that are, envious of little things here and there. Like maybe somebody has the latest Chanel handbag, right? I don't really find a reason for someone to be super jealous for someone else having a Chanel bag, but it could be something like that, or it could be someone being jealous of another person because they have millions and billions of dollars, right? Which, I feel that would be a lot of emotion towards being jealous of someone. So there's definitely a range, and there's definitely situations that bring out a certain level of jealousy. Why do people feel jealous?
Well, I guess for number one, the same answer. It's it's something that you don't possess, like you don't have it in your possession. It's something that you don't have, so you envy the person who actually has it. When we were in school, do you guys remember that like rubber band that has like shapes?
Yeah, the animal shapes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy God, I forgot. I was so jealous because everybody was friends with each other.
Same.
And then if you exchange those rubber bands,
everybody wanted to collect them all.
And then you will see all these like kids with like, it's like the length of your arm. It's like,
yeah, a whole row of just those rubber. What are they called? Oh my goodness.
Loomies? Something?
Loomies?
I don't know why I think of loomies, but I know what you mean. I just forgot their names. I'm on the same page with you, Akane. Like that was me. That and like, those sneakers that had like wheels on the bottom. Wheelies, there you go. I always wanted
so
them.
bad.
It's literally like those moments where like it's something you never end up gaining as like when you were younger, especially, or you didn't possess, and you kind of envy the people who are able to have it, because I'm like, man, I kind of wish I had that. I'm like, I really want that now. And then, I think it also really changes over time, because I feel like there's a lot of things when I was younger, I definitely like really, really wanted to like. I felt like that's something I would have begged my parents for. But afterwards, like I think when I hit like high school or like college, I was just like, it would be nice to have, but I'm not like, I really want this, like really, really super envious and jealous.
Oh, by the way, it's called silly bands.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's silly bands.
But yo, those sneakers. Oh man, I wanted it so bad. Yo, not recently, but like I saw one when like pre-COVID, in order to like in a normal market. I don't know where I went, but someone, a little like teenager boy was like doing like, you know, rolling his way through somewhere. I was like, oh, middle school or elementary school. Middle school, elementary, just flashback came in. I was like, they still sell that thing?
And what about like jealousy in relationships? I feel that jealousy, at least in a relationship, whether it be with your siblings, in a relationship with a significant other, a partner, your friends, like that feeling is from a place of low self-esteem or a lack of confidence. Like in a relationship between in a couple, for instance, one partner might feel very jealous because their partner was looking at someone and was obviously very attracted to that person, right? But tried their best not to show it, or maybe they didn't hide it. So one could be jealous in those instances, in those situations where they see that their partner is being more receptive to someone else rather than themselves. And when someone is unhappy about themselves or they feel like anxious and insecure, I definitely think this could lead to feelings of jealousy. Because if you're a secure person, if you're secure in your identity, you're secure in your values and your morals, you know what you stand for, and you know, try to live a good life, there would be no, in a relationship setting, there shouldn't be many reasons to be jealous of someone else. But if you're very insecure, or if you have some issues caused by other people or other situations in the past, it could be very easy for one to feel jealous of someone else. What do you guys think?
Like crushes, or like just
I mean, any relationship. One-sided relationships, like everything.
Every jealousy rages. Not rages, but it's there. It's like present. It's like, hi, I'm jealousy. I mean, it's tough, relationship jealousy. Because it's like what? I guess when you start out, it's like what you want. You're more concentrated on. You're not that mature when you start a relationship, so you gotta learn to not be jealous. Like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but like, because jealousy causes another conflict. So it's like, and when you like look back, it's like, why the hell did I do that?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think it's also like, it's better to acknowledge that you are feeling jealous and that's what you're doing, because it's not good to like brush it aside. It's like, oh, I'm feeling this way, but you know, it's whatever kind of thing. And just kind of like, all right, I'm feeling jealous, and I'm feeling jealous because probably of this. Like for example, like many times, like with my brothers especially, I was always constantly jealous when it was easier for them to go out with friends, or like ask permission from my parents to like, you know, go out to like a friend's house for something, and I felt like I struggled just to get a yes or a no from my parents, and I was just like, what? That's so unfair. I was like, it's so unfair, like why is it like me and then them? And I'm like, yeah, I went through that whole conversation, but like I was just like so passive aggressive about it though, that I didn't like tell my parents also, or you know, talk to them. So I feel like that kind of grew my envy towards my brothers, which didn't help. So like, yeah, definitely like acknowledging that, and like also maybe like if you can, I think it's good to talk to the person that you're feeling like a kind of jealousy towards, because that can definitely help diminish or like let the jealousy go through, or else you're just gonna keep it inside and it's just like you're like angry and just like
Yeah, that's spot on. I was talking to someone about, they asked me for help. And I mean, I'm not a therapist, but I try to, help my friends whenever I can. And those were pretty much the exact words that I said. If you want to let go of negative emotions, especially emotions like jealousy, you do have to address it head on. You can't put it off or think that it'll disappear or dissipate. And also you do have to communicate, your feelings and acknowledge your feelings in that moment, and fully feel them. Don't just, like you said, put it off or shrug it off. Go through the motions. It'll help you. What causes jealousy? I feel like I said this, but jealousy, from what I experience, comes from a place of, well, it comes from several places, like a lack of gratitude. If we're talking about materialistic things, being jealous over someone who physically has more than what I have, in terms of that, there's a lack of gratitude, of not being grateful for what I already have, which is way more than what most other people in the world have. So that's one thing. And I guess another cause of jealousy, and I said this kind of before, but not being secure within yourself, not knowing your value, your self-worth, not knowing your purpose, even. There's deeper issues that come with jealousy.
I think also it can come based off like regrets in life that you didn't get to do. So I'm kind of like, the examples I can kind of get are like from movies. Like if you see those kind of movies where it's like those kind of movies where parents are portraying the lives that they wanted and they wanted to live when they were younger onto their kids, onto their sons or daughters, and then it later like backfires because like the kids would come like, this was your dream, mom, this is your dream, dad, and this was never my dream. I just kind of tried to do my best or try to follow you, and those kind of things. So it's just like, I think it could also, that's another cause of like of jealousy. It's definitely like regretting you wish to do something and trying to project it onto like maybe your kids, or you're trying to project it onto somebody I think who looks like who has the same potential to do it or something.
To me, anything causes jealousy. Because like life itself, like what you guys said, like how maybe the parents, like they didn't get to do what they didn't get to do in life, so they pass it on to parents. Life itself is gonna cause jealousy. Items cause jealousy. Love causes jealousy. Anything emotional, physical, spiritual, I don't know about spiritual. Maybe. However, I feel like anything can cause jealousy because we all don't have everything. And even billionaires don't have everything because they have to keep going through life in order to gain something. But they're always going to end up being jealous of something, like maybe a normal life. Because I feel like all celebrities, right, they sometimes, not all, majority wants to live a normal life. and not deal with all the paparazzi, all the scandals.
Media.
Media, exactly. All the BS rumors out there that are not true at all. All rumors are not true. I hope you guys do understand all rumors are not true. So yeah, everything causes jealousy. That's my answer.
And I think as humans, we always want more than what we have. And we always want what we can't have.
Indeed.
So we want more, and we want what we can't get. There's that song, "You Can't Always Get What You Want" by the Rolling Stones. And that rings so true. Like, you're, and I feel like that's purposeful. You know, why is it that we can't always get what we want, and as a result causes individuals to be jealous? You know, it's really, I mean, that's a deeper question, but I think one of the reasons why we can't always get what we want, I mean, simply a lack of access to resources or access to the things that we want, but also I feel like here on this earth, we are meant to live for each other's sake, live for the sake of one another. So if you see somebody that has less than you or doesn't have what you have, and you have an abundance of it, you should share that and you should spread it. I know that overall in the African culture, there's this saying that it takes a village to raise a kid. And actually, I was listening to a documentary earlier. One of the influencers that I follow, she created a documentary about where her parents are from, or her dad is from. And he mentioned that, and he said that in growing up, you know, everyone was always helping the other person. So say there was a nighttime church service, right? And they had lamps back in the day. Say, you know, you left your lamp out and somebody saw that there wasn't enough oil in the lamp. They would come and put, you know, oil so that you have. So that by the time nighttime comes, you have enough oil to go, you know, travel to the church service. Things like that. You know, the farmer plants and harvests crops, yes. So that the community has food to eat. The fisherman goes out and hunts fish so that, you know, the community has another set of, you know, options to choose from to eat. And those are just small examples, but you know, we're all supposed to live for the sake of the other. Well, what do you guys think?
No, I think that's that's good to mention, because like we kind of do live in this society where it's like, well, anyways, I was just thinking of like every man for themselves or every person for themselves kind
Survival
of thing.
of the fittest.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like we don't have that sense of value of just like families, or just like willing to help out one another. And like, yeah, and they do have it in like in cultures, like you said, in like that documentary that you watched. And like there are cultures that have it, and a lot of the cultures that you either probably grew up in, or that's like part of you, but you don't know so much about it. Like similar in like the Filipino culture, it's kind of a given when you go to like someone else's house. Like you're always either served some food, whatever they have, or it is not even Filipino culture, but like also my mom said like how she always grew up is like my grandmother, I say in Spanish is abuelita. My abuelita, she taught my mom and her siblings, wherever they go, always serve people the best food, or whatever they have always goes to your guest and to whoever comes. And yeah, and then the same goes with like my dad's family. Everywhere we go, every people always offering food, always so humble and to kind to like welcome you in, and think that's definitely a good environment and atmosphere to be around. That I feel like it would be so hard for jealousy to be like stimulated that way,
Right.
because like it's like, what are you necessarily going to be jealous for if you're all helping out, like you said, with one another and stuff. So yeah, it's a good reminder even for myself.
And thank you for bringing it back, because I completely forgot. I kind of went off track a little bit. I was like, why am I answering this question? Yeah. So jealousy is, there's a range of jealousy. Like, what's that proper? There's like a
Excessive jealousy, I think.
Yeah, there's like a scale. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
And jealousy is like a scale. In my everyday life, the things that I get jealous of are mostly from what I see on Instagram and Pinterest. Those two apps, they make it very hard for me to not be jealous. I mean, you see influencers, celebrities, and especially with this pandemic, they seem pretty fine, They don't seem to be too affected. I mean, everyone is affected, but from the photos that you get, from what they choose to show you, it seems like everything is fine. And so it can be very hard to see someone else, having a good life, if you will, in quotations, when you're struggling and suffering, and you're thinking about, for me at least, paying off your student loans, getting a job, or finding a higher paying job, making more income, saving, all the realities of life. You don't really see that portrayed too much on pages, on websites or pages, apps like Pinterest and Instagram. And so it could be, it's very hard to not be jealous of someone seemingly having a great life. And other things I get jealous of, like couples, seeing relationship goals. Seeing someone else, I guess at the core of it, seeing someone else happy when I'm not happy, or I don't feel, extreme happiness. Those are just some of my experiences with jealousy in my day-to-day, everyday life.
I think that answered the question a bit about, like, for you, somewhat like youth's exposure to perfect life on Instagram or social media things. I was gonna piggyback off of that and just said, like, I definitely feel like that it does stem from a lot of social media apps that I like. I'm not a person that posts on Instagram or Facebook anymore. I really don't, unless I really feel like I want to. I feel like it's not that helpful for me. I'm like, why do I keep looking at like Instagram? But like, I've seen people like that I know of, they're going on all these vacations, they're all traveling some places, and I'm just like, man, I haven't been able to travel really that much, and like I want to go out of the country, or I want to go to Hawaii again, or it's like I want to do this or stuff. So like it starts to like somewhat escalate with things like, I'm like, oh, I wish, or you ask the what ifs, or like, I wish I could. I was just like kind of noticing that recently a lot more. So I was like, man, I've been kind of just trying to just take a break from social media and just like scrolling especially. But yeah, it's like, it's hard when you make it a habit where you just do it so naturally, or you're just like, you don't notice. So yeah, so I've been trying to just kind of put that off to the side, not really. So like, I'm not even trying to click on the Instagram or Facebook app as much, just to like scroll. Yeah, I think it's like a work in progress to do for like jealousy. It's not something you could just be like, okay, I don't want to be jealous anymore.
Social media is a bomb of jealousy. I don't know. This is how I kind of use Instagram. I like, scroll and people I know that I follow. I don't follow strangers. That's creepy. I just go through and be like, oh, they won a game, or like, oh, they got a new puppy. That's totally great. Next. It's like literally Ariana Grande's thank you next. So like, thank you for sharing. I'm gonna go next now. Like, I kind of learned how to not give a damn about people's life or what they show on social media. It's like, oh, that's great. Look at you. Okay, what's next? Kind of thing. Like, I learned the fact that like, if I want to do what they want to do, then I want to go reach it. Like, whether it's going on vacation, and it may cost a little bit more money, so I have to raise that money, and that time will eventually come. So I always think like that time will eventually come in my life. Just like relationships, as you mentioned, Matova, that time will come eventually. So I don't have to worry about anything. I mean, you do have to prepare yourself, you got to be the right person for that other person, and you got to help out that person and not yourself. I guess for mental health, you got to help yourself. But yeah, that time will naturally come to you. I don't care how long it's gonna take, but it's gonna come. So don't you worry, guys.
At this point, at least with relationships, I left it all to God, let God handle that. As well as me continue to work on myself and, like you said, become a better person, someone that I'm proud of. I don't want to enter to a relationship and I'm not proud of myself or in a stable relationship with myself first.
When you said I know we keep talking about like relationship jealousy is a pain in the butthole. Especially crushes. That's a pain in the butthole. Swear to God. Those episodes, middle schoolers, if you're listening to this, do not get crushes. You will regret. Your life. It's not healthy. More importantly, you gotta embarrass yourself. And it's not worth it.
Oh, man.
Worth it. Not one bit.
I think if you especially if you start to notice, you think of someone, especially like if it was your friend before, or not even, just like in a different way. I feel like what helped me especially get over like my crushes was definitely just like looking at them. I'm like, okay, why am I attracted to them? Why do I like them? Kind of thing, like breaking down those little questions to myself. And I'm like, okay, I like them because they're good looking, or I like them because of their personality, or they treat me well. I was like, okay, but am I going to see myself with this person in an actual relationship or actually be with them? So I started to break it down to the point where like, no, or I just see them as this kind of thing. And it slowly made me have those feelings like fade. Like it worked. That's how it worked for me. It doesn't always work for everybody, but like I also think creating some boundaries in space, like I had to learn how to do that because I didn't know, but someone had to kind of tell me that I'm a very friendly, polite, I guess respectable person when I talk to anybody, girls or guys. But I didn't know that some guys take my friendliness as like me flirting with them, or like, and I'm just like, whoa. No. That's like not it at all. Like, I don't think like that. So like I had to learn how to create some boundaries and be like, I'm sorry, but I'm not really looking for a relationship. I am preparing for my own future marriage and like finding the person that I'm going to be with, that I really just want to focus on. Like I usually said, like, especially in high school, I'm just going to focus on my studies, forget about boys. That's what I said in high school. But yeah, it's just like I was like creating some boundaries with them that I felt like they like backed off. Or I don't know. I had that aura where I'm just like, don't go near me. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't mean it like don't come to me at all, but just like, yeah, I only see you as a friend. There's nothing more. Yeah. The heart is tricky.
Getting over it, it's the most trickiest part. I took a while. I took a while for mine. I was like, it wasn't when I saw this video of like this security guard at a random school, right? Because a student was just taking a video of the security guard, and he said that like all girls are the treasure or the gem, and the boys gotta find the treasure and, you know, dedication, and eventually the person will come get the treasure, the right person. So I was like, yeah, I'm not like saying it in a very narcissistic way or even sound like it, but it's like, yeah, I am a gem. I should really treasure myself. And like that guy will naturally come into my life. It's all good. So I kind of like thought about it, like kind of analyzed it slightly, like you did, Hansel. But I was like, yeah, I'm a strong person. I know. I'm gonna do this. I don't give a damn about boys anymore. And that's how it ended. The end. Bye-bye, crush.
Thank you everyone for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at BC Girls. You can also listen to this episode on Spotify, which will be linked down below.
Let's all create a better version of ourselves. Until next time.